there's nothing there.
That's right.
There's still nothing there.
You didn't get anything?
No.
Okay. Symptom? Let's approach it a little differently, please, Symptom. And tell me, Symptom, how old were you when the migraine headaches first began? Symptom, please write that number on the chalkboard. How old were you when they first began, the very first one? Symptom, how old were you?
Mm. 11.
Symptom, when you were 11 and that migraine headache happened, was that headache caused by something that happened then?
Yes.
Okay. Symptom, do you, I want to express a belief or two of mine and see if you agree with me. Symptom, I believe that sometimes things that happen have effects that can last for a very long time, that continue to affect the person, maybe for the rest of their life, unless something changes. Do you agree that that's true, Central?
It says no.
No, okay. Central? Would you agree with me that it's possible to learn to fear something and that fear continues like a phobia? It's irrational, doesn't make sense. It's there, but there's no reason for it now. There was, in the beginning, a reason for it. It was real, legitimate. But now there is no reason. It would be a phobia. Symptom, does that explanation of phobia make sense to you?
Yes.
Symptom, some people sometimes have obsessions. Like they have to go back and check to be sure the door is locked. And they do that, and then they go back to the car, and somehow they're not sure. They have to go back and check it again. We call that an obsession. Symptom, would you agree with me that obsessions are not genetic, they're not germ-laden, they're learned? Would you agree with that, Symptom?
Yes.
Symptom? Are you Symptom, I know you consciously are familiar with smooth muscle and how it can act and so forth. Symptom, are you also aware of all of that?
Yes.
Good. Well, Symptom, excuse me. Do you believe headaches, including migraine headaches, are the consequence of pressure in the brain? Does that make sense to you? That's the mechanical force that creates the headache. Syndrome? Does that make sense to you?
Yes.
Well, Syndrome, do you agree that smooth muscle action can create pressure in the brain?
Yes.
And Syndrome, do you agree that smooth muscle action is controlled by your mind in some way, at some level? You agree with that, Syndrome?
It says no.
Okay. Excuse me. Syndrome, I asked a minute ago, if you believe that these migraine headaches were the consequence of experience that you have had, and your answer was no. Syndrome, I believe that possibly that may be true. And if it's true, this is the way to eliminate them. So let's go down to rock bottom now, Syndrome. Do you agree that it is in your best interest to eliminate the migraine headaches?
It says no.
Sure wouldn't have expected that answer, would you? Syndrome, are these headaches serving some purpose in your life?
Yes.
Syndrome, were you 11 when that purpose came into existence? Is that how old you were when this purpose became part of your life?
It says no.
Syndrome, how old were you when this purpose became part of your life? How old were you when having migraine headaches became necessary?
10.
Symptom? When you were 10 years old, the migraine headaches began, apparently. They became necessary. And symptom, they probably, almost certainly, served a useful purpose then. Is that true, symptom? Did the headache serve useful, pragmatic, real-life purpose then?
Yes.
Symptom. Your life is different now. You're a mature young woman. Symptom, do you need the headaches to serve that purpose now as a young adult?
No.
Let me ask again now, in light of that awareness, symptom, do you still believe it is in your best interest for those headaches to continue?
It says yes.
Okay. Don't be alarmed or discouraged, honey. You're doing beautifully here. You're doing exactly, going down the exact right road here. Symptom, please write on the chalkboard, write words that will inform me what that purpose was when you were 11 years old. What did it do for you? And if you can't write it, let there be a conscious memory that you can share with me. You're 11 years old, and the headache had a benefit. It had a payoff. So from what was that payoff?
Excuse.
I'm sorry, what?
Excuse.
Excuse. How about that? Well, young beauty, do you know what the excuse was, what it was all about consciously right now? Do you have that memory?
I think so, yeah.
Hmm?
Yeah.